All right, so I just did a video about how I don't think that instinctive training and instinctive dieting are good for beginners. Okay, but I know that I'm going to get a bunch of questions because I talk about how like the steak and eggs diet, for instance, is an instinctive diet. Okay, so here are my tips on how to make instinctive dieting work for you. Okay, the steak and eggs diet is a very structured diet. Okay, it's instinctive in the case that you don't have somebody telling you to measure exactly how much butter you put in a pan, exactly how much you eat. Okay, stuff like that. But there is a whole lot of structure to it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, there's this girl that I knew who went on what she thought was the steak and eggs diet. Okay, so she would go ahead and she would just like eat all day. Okay, but it had no carbs. Okay, and at one point, she wasn't losing weight, so I kind of asked her, I'm like, so what's the deal? What have you got going on here? What are you eating? And I'm like, you can't eat all that food. She would just eat like, maybe like steak and eggs for breakfast, and then she'd have some cheese, and then she'd have, then she'd have some pork rinds, and then she'd have some more cheese, and then she'd, have some kind of, lunch that had all kinds of, stuff in it, and then, maybe fat. I mean, none of it was really bad in itself, but I mean, she was just constantly grazing all day, which might be fine if you're trying to get your body fat adapted, but you're not going to lose weight like that. You do at some point actually have to go ahead and, and start, taking care of your calories. So, I asked her, I'm like, well, why are you eating all this food? And she's like, well, Vince Gironda said you could eat as much as you want. Yes, in 2 meals a day, okay? So this is where the structure is going to start to come in, okay? So like, yes, the steak and eggs diet does say that you can eat as much as you want, okay, or as little as you want, okay? As much steak, meat of any kind, okay, and eggs, cooked any way you want them, but only if you're trying to lose weight, you only have 2 sittings a day. So what you do is you sit down in the morning and you eat as much as you want. And depending upon, how things are going, I mean, if you're burning a lot of calories, if you're in the gym building muscle, if you're in the gym running or whatever, you may need more or you may need less. Okay, the more overweight you are, the easier it is to access your body fat, so you'll need less. As you lean up, you're going to need more because it's going to be more difficult to access your body fat for energy. So the bottom line is you are structuring yourself to eating only 2 meals a day. Okay, you might eat what the hell, a pound of steak and a half a dozen eggs at that one meal. And then you might have, whatever, the same thing again later in the day, but you're only eating twice a day, okay? And since you're not eating, any carbs, okay, you're not going to eat too much. I mean, like I could eat like a damn loaf of bread with marmalade on it and, a whole box of cereal, and a whole stack of pancakes and drink like 1,000,000 calories worth of soda. But if you're just having meat and eggs and water, you're not really going to be able to eat that much because it fills you up. And not only does it fill you up, but it keeps you full for a long time. Okay? So, like I said, that's, on one hand, it is kind of instinctive, but on the other hand, it's not really instinctive because if you're trying to lose weight, you're only eating 2 meals a day, whatever meat, however many eggs you want, okay, as much meat as you want, but only 2 meals a day. Okay, when you stand up from the table, you're done eating for that meal. Okay, so that's limiting the amount of calories. Like I said, you're eating nothing but meat, eggs, and water. Okay, no liquid calories, no carbs. Okay, and like I said, you're having this, you may have a cheat day like, once a week, but it's only that one day. Okay, it's not whenever you feel like it. So like I said, it is a kind of an instinctive diet, but it's also not exactly instinctive. You're still very structured, okay, as to what and when you can eat, okay? And it goes to the same thing with, for instance, like, how do I drink enough water? Okay, you're worried about drinking enough water. Well, one way is to like, I have to drink the 6 bottles of water, okay, carry them around with you. That works well. But another way that works that's kind of instinctive is don't drink coffee, don't drink soda. Okay, why are you not drinking water? Because you're drinking 5 cups of coffee a day, okay? If you didn't drink 5 cups of coffee a day, you'd probably drink 5 bottles of water a day, okay? Like I said, it's the same thing as, how come you're not hungry? I've got get a lot of guys that I coach who are like skinny fat, and they're like, I'm eating, but I'm just not hungry enough. So like, what are you eating? And they're eating a bunch of carbs, a bunch of rubbish. Well, even if you don't go on a ketogenic diet, you need to cut down the carbs a lot, okay? And if you don't eat like a bag of potato chips or a slice of pizza or whatever here or there, if you don't have like, a soda here or there, you're going to be more hungry. So if you limit yourself to like, more fats and proteins, you're automatically going to eat more calories. You know what I'm saying? You're automatically going to eat more protein.